Good evening and welcome back to the Cincinnati Gardens, ladies and gentlemen, for this, the opening matchup of the season. Your Cincinnati Violent Lambs taking on Neo, Northeastern Ohio's Audio Assault. I'm Nick of Time. With me, as always, Coach Marty, Dave, Evan Powell. How's it going, everybody? We are actually going to toss over the rules real quick to get you started on how to play the game of roller derby. So we'll be right back with you in 1 second.
The basics of flat track roller derby, brought to you by Antic Skate Boots and the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. The game of roller derby is played on roller skates. The players wear helmets, elbow pads, wrist guards, and knee pads. The track is flat, not banked. Each 30-minute half is broken down into shifts called jams. The group of 8 players at the front is called the pack. The pack is made of players who play the position of blocker. Behind the pack are the jammers. The jammers are the skaters who score points and are marked by a large star on their helmet. When the whistle blows, the jammers try to skate their way through the pack and out the other side, but they will be met with the hips, rear, and shoulders of the opposing team's blockers. When 2 bodies make contact on the track, this is called a block. Once the jammers have skated their way through the pack the first time, they're ready to begin scoring. They earn a point every time they legally pass a member of the opposing team. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins. The jammers will fail to earn points if they pass the opposing blockers illegally. Any player who performs an illegal action will earn a penalty. So what's illegal? Elbows, tripping, back blocking, and passing out of bounds. Any player who receives a major penalty has earned a 30-second trip to the penalty box. The jam ends when the lead jammer places her hands on her hips, or when 2 minutes has elapsed. 30 seconds later, a new jam begins, and the whole thing starts again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Cincinnati Gardens, the historic and wonderful Cincinnati Gardens. We are happy to be here, and we're glad that you're with us. So again, I'm Nick of Time. With me as always, Coach Marty.
Hello.
Dave, Evan Powell.
Hello, hello.
And wow, it is great to be here in the wonderful Cincinnati Gardens. We got equipment check going on right now, and let's break down the Lambs a little bit here. Last year, a rough year for Cincinnati in general.
Right.
The Lambs going, I believe, 4-11. So they did win a couple. It was a good year, building year. This year, the roster seems a little stacked. Marty, what do you think?
That's the exact description that I would, when I looked at this roster. I mean, you got leadership, veteran leadership, check. Murder Her, Cherry Choke, Poppy Chulo. How about jamming prowess? Sure, you got Hot Slice, you got Anatomical. New blood, you want? We got that. VC, Ellie Stabber. Now, how these 14, this collective 14 assembles their talents It remains to be seen, but on paper, and they don't play the game on paper by any stretch of the
do not.
imagination, but things are looking pretty darn good for the Violent Lambs at this point. This is definitely the most talented roster the Quad Almighty's put together in the time that I've been watching the Cincinnati team, and it's been quite a while.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it has been quite a while.
It has been.
Since year one, you've been here.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Neo looking good as well. A lot of players who played in actually this last matchup just before here, where the Cincinnati Rollergirls took on the Neo A team, and Cincinnati came on top. Black Sheep winning 308-96 over the Rock and Roller Girls. So we'll see several players who are doing double duty tonight from Neo. Dave, what are your thoughts tonight?
Well, we mentioned Murderer already, and actually at the family exhibition, she won the Queen of the Rink, where all of the Black Sheep and Violent Lambs were out there together, and she was the last skater standing. You saw a lot of these skaters get experience last year with the Black Sheep, and they're back here with the Lambs again, and yes, they're all stacked. This is fantastic. It's going to be an exciting team to watch, and I think as Marty puts it, as long as they work together, which we saw done very well with the Black Sheep in the previous bout, it should be a successful night for them.
I agree wholeheartedly, boys. We'll see what happens here. In the meantime, getting ready to announce the rosters for Neo, and we'll flip it on over here to our friends at the house in just a second and get you going for that. So I guess we're going right now, ladies and gentlemen, the house.
Here we go, the Neo Audio Assault. Number 7, the Lioness. Number 9, Dita Von Bitch. Number 11, Scarheart. Number 76, Shockwave. Number 117, Master Chief. 169, Olive Payne. 216, Secret Destruction. 219, Violent Vixen. 237, Jackie Torment. 713, Val Kilry. 850, Sailor Boom. E13, Rosa Mayapara. And the captain, 187, Kitty Black. The Neo Audio Assault. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you for the main event of the evening, your home team, the Cincinnati Violent Lambs. Number 91, Annie Tomical. Number 72, Big Ugly. Number 80, Chainsaw. Number 0, Cherry Choke. Number 22, Cincy Psycho. Number 631, Ellie Stabber. Number 71, Hot Slice. Number 14, Genocide. Number 26, Mama Crash. Number 27, Poppy Chulo. Number 2, Chow Please, Sister Jump Chow. Number 69, Gonna Hurt. Number 96, BC. And the captain of the Violent Lambs, number 44, they call her the Enforcer, Murder Her. And the coach, Quad Almighty. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Make some noise for your Cincinnati Violent Lambs.
All right, everybody, that's your rosters here for tonight for Cincinnati versus Audio Assault. Violent Lambs, again, looking like a solid team so far. We'll see if that translates onto the track. And as always, the Violent Lambs coached by Coach Quad Almighty. And Audio Assault tonight coached by Alchemist Prime. So we will see what both of these teams have to offer. If it's anything like the first game we saw tonight, should be pretty good. Cincinnati took a hot lead in the beginning game, and hopefully they'll get off to that start again. Hot Slice taking the star for the first time for Cincinnati, and Masher Chief taking the star for Neo. Neo going to be in the bright green tonight once the lights come back up, and Cincinnati in black.
So you see on the blocking side of things, a lot of veteran experience and some new blood as well. On the inside, you got 9-year veteran Murder Her. And on the outside, number 69, Skuna Hurt, making her in her sophomore season with the Cincinnati Rollergirls, the first Cincinnati Junior Roller Girl graduate, if you will, into the Cincinnati Rollergirls fold. So really excited to see how this meshing works. Again, a lot to look at, Dave. Boy, I don't know where to begin.
It's tough, yeah. I'm sorry, boys. The generator here, I need to give it more power, apparently. So start pedaling harder so that way we can get these lights back up. But in the meantime, Dave, what do you got?
Well, one thing that we've also noticed from the first game and this game is the Black Sheep and Violent Lambs are both wearing all black uniforms, and their helmets are all matching. And yes, we don't see maybe some of the individual personality that we used to see with every single skater, but they look so great together. They look like a team. It looks fantastic to see out there.
I agree. The unity factor is great. I love the matching uniforms and everyone's in all black tonight, which is awesome. It looks really cool. So hopefully this happens again. In the meantime, it looks like we're still waiting for these lights to come back up, and a little bit of spillage on the track, so we're cleaning up that in the corner as well. Lots to talk about, though, in the meantime. Again, I'm excited about this game. One of my all-time favorite skaters from before I was even an announcer here as a fan was Murder Her. A skater that has come so far, and actually the captain of this team. Some would argue probably maybe even bounce back up to the A team.
It wouldn't shock me.
Wouldn't shock me at all,
yeah.
with her skill. Again, we mentioned earlier that she won the Queen of the Rink at the Family Day, which is saying a lot.
This is my surprise face.
Yes. There is no.
I think she was probably even odds in the Vegas for winning that one, doing what she's supposed to do. She's strong. She's smart. She improves every year.
She does.
And she's an extremely coachable player that is always looking to do the hard work, put in the hard work to get just a little bit better each year. And it's definitely thus far the trajectory is going the right way. She's going up, up, up.
Meanwhile, on the track as well, some familiar faces. Skuna Hurt making her second-year debut. And as always, Poppy Chulo out there in the pack doing her job as well. Newcomer to the pack, it looks like Ellie Stabber, transfer from the Rollergirls of Central Kentucky. So we are looking at that.
Right. And on the subject of new skaters, let's also talk about BC.
BC.
She is a transfer from the Rollergirls of Southern Indiana. And she's bringing a lot of youth and enthusiasm to this Lambs roster, and it's so we always like seeing the new skaters coming in. Sometimes they're come to us via transfer, like these two. Sometimes they are developed in-house in the case of Scunna Hurt. And sometimes there's just these skaters that, or these, perhaps it's somebody watching the speed today, perhaps it's somebody that's out in the crowd. For instance, Sister Shubchild, I remember very clearly. She came up to me, she says, "Hey coach, I want to do this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." And she's like, "You remember my face? I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna do this." And I didn't really think much of it at the time. And then I started seeing her coming up at boot camps and tryouts. She made it in first go around, and next thing I know, I'm just an amazingly talented, motivated skater that just happened upon the sport by coming out to the Gardens one day to see what it's all about and fell in love with the sport. And I don't know how many years on from there, but is definitely a wonderful player, a great teammate, and a fan favorite, certainly, as you heard the reception.
Yeah. Yep.
And one thing to also notice as we said, with Scunna Hurt is homegrown talent right there. The Cincinnati Junior Rollergirls are ranked 9th in the world, right there, of all of the junior derby out there. And then also another thing to keep track of tonight, Poppy Chulo last year went all season without a single penalty. Not just not just home, the whole season.
She
it was remarkable, perfect. Yes.
And for my money, she was the MVP of that team. And she just plays so smart. She makes the players around her better. She just has this cool confidence that just kind of permeates through her, and it gives the good vibes throughout the bench and throughout the players on the floor. And so it's again, we might be getting over our skis a little bit in terms of excitement, but it's kind of hard not to. You got a brand new season. You got some new names, but a lot of veterans coming back and really looking to get that bad taste out of their mouth that was 2014. And I know they're certainly not satisfied with 4 wins last year. They want to put together an excellent season. Yep. And really, I don't think there's anything that's going to be able to get in their way, with the exception of possibly themselves. So let's see how this chemistry works on the floor and how it reflects on the scoreboard. So I mean, I am like 10 minutes deep. Like I want to be in minute 10 by now, and so I'm chomping at the bit.
What you're also noticing is with Neo out there, it's going to be a lot of skaters that were playing in the A game already. So they're good. They're not slouches. Right. You're going to have a very good team that they're going to be playing. And notice during this delay, Quad Almighty was on the bench coaching the whole time, talking to his players, going over strategy, and he was very animated, as Quad can be.
Of course.
So real quick, those Audio Assault players that are doing double duty, 117 Master Chief, Olive Payne, number 169, and E13 Rosa Mariposa. On the line for the Audio Assault is number, that would be... Excuse me, I'm not having issues.
I believe it is Master
Chief, indeed,
yeah.
Absolutely. And also, on the line for the Violent Lambs, real quick, it's Hot Slice. Hot Slice trying to make her way through. She does. She's lead jammer. She did get caught back up by that other blocker. Nice little spin move to free herself officially from the pack.
Yep, you're right there. Again, there's one thing we're not shy on here in Cincinnati for opening days. It is hope. And Cincinnati known for that. Meanwhile, Hot Slice hoping us on early on here as she's around. Meanwhile, Master Chief out as well. Also pulling double duty tonight, Scarheart, Dita Von Bitch. So again, a lot of people taking double duty tonight.
So on the scoring pass, Hot Slice gets caught up a little bit, gets 3 points to her credit, calls off the jam quickly and wisely before the Neo is able to make any points of their own nick of time.
I'm just noticing Master Chief jammed her thumb or something on that. Dave, I know you saw that too, holding that finger. We'll see what happens as that develops. That can be a nagging little pain.
All right, on the line is VC for the Black Sheep and number 216, Secret Destruction out there for Neo. This jam brought to you by Southpaw Prince.
Our first look at number 96, VC, stuck in the pack, working her way inside out, keeping those skates moving, which is a good sign. You always like seeing that forward momentum going. Oh boy, it looked like Anatomical was almost able to draw a cut on Secret Destruction. That did not quite happen, much to Secret Destruction's Credit. Oh boy, I think I'm going to have trouble with that name today. BC has 1 to beat. Make that 2 to beat. Make that 3 to beat.
Caught back up.
And Secret Destruction quietly and patiently becomes the lead jammer. BC getting caught to the inside. Ooh, tripping on the way out. Having a little trouble making her way through. Just kind of shrugs it off. It's early going, nothing to worry about here, no panic whatsoever. She just got to keep those skates moving just like she's doing, and good things will happen, I assure you.
Yeah, it's a good point there.
And we're noticing the blocking line for the Black Sheep right there, out there with Cherry, Atomical, Mama Crass, and Murder. And they're, again, sticking together, working together as a team, and containing Miss Destruction. I'm sorry, I'm going to struggle with it as well. Secret Destruction in the back of the pack.
So too funny.
With all that, Neo only able to manage 3 points.
Tie game.
3-3.
27 minutes left on the clock as I believe Valkyrie comes out. And number 2 for Cincinnati, Sister Shovchild.
And I'm not sure if we can get a good look at Sister Shovchild's skates. She has one of the most unique looks in roller derby. She has kind of that jam skater. She has the bottoms tightened up, but the tops are just sort of, they're the high tops, and they're just sort of flopping about. She tried the more traditional skates at one point earlier in her career, just didn't like it, felt comfortable with her jam skating roots, went to it, and it's looking so good, so far so good as she's your lead jammer.
Shoving her out of the way. Good move there. And that's going to be a penalty on Neo as well. Meanwhile, Valkyrie out as well.
About a quarter length of a track lead as Sister Shovchild goes through. Oh, beautiful move to the outside.
They did not expect her speed there.
They really didn't. You know, it's one of those, again, on those turn coming out to go on the outside, you better be careful. You better have your everything lined up. Let's take a look at that again, boys. I really enjoyed that.
This is a good move here. Dave, take it away.
All right, so she got some speed going, and we could see it developing right here. This is actually when she gets lead jammer, when she knocks down. Just shakes her off and then comes right back to it.
Kitty Black.
Look at those skates.
And you saw it immediately right when they blew the whistle. She exploded off of the line there.
She did.
Big Ugly on the line, taking an inside track for Cincinnati. In the meantime, number 11, that would be Scarhart. Scarhart.
It's okay.
Big Ugly. I can pronounce that name. She's your lead jammer, and she's about ready to make a scoring pass. And Scarhart makes her initial pass.
Kitty Black still in the box, standing up now for Neo. Meanwhile, Murder her in the box for Cincinnati. Bigley calls it off.
Wisely so. Quad called that from the bench, and we got ourselves a fairly tight game in the early going. 11 for the Violent Lambs, 3 for the Audio Assault of Neo. On the line for the Cincinnati, that would be Hot Slice, number 71. Number 216, representing the Audio Assault, is Secret Destruction. See, I go slower, and it makes it a little easier for me.
It is.
Okay.
Next year brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation. Check them out. Slice out there, trying to get through this pack. She's got a little step behind there.
It looked like she was trying to follow Secret Destruction through the pack. Neo was wise to close the door real quick. Secret Destruction is your lead jammer as Hot Slice gets knocked in the first apex. Yes, nick of time.
Oh, I was just going to say, as you cut me in the
You
middle
just
of the
yawned. You yawned.
I did. I got caught there.
I'm sorry my color commentary is so boring for you.
Not at all.
It's just one of those things. We got 2 bouts, and it's our first one. We're still working up the endurance of our mouths here and our speaking voices.
So we have Hot Slice making her way through the initial pass. Looks like Secret Destruction has got 4 points on hers. Looks like she's trying to pass the jammer for Cincinnati to acquire that 5th point. I'm not sure if she was able to there when she swung her hips out. It remains to be seen, but Hot Slice on the outside. She's got points right there. So Secret Destruction looks like she had an opportunity.
Interesting she's not calling
to call it off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we also noticed Cherry and Poppy, 2 longtime teammates, just sealed off the inside right there and created a nice wall, and then Murder was able to keep them inside as well there.
You know, and we talk about those 3 skaters, there is not a single scenario you could throw out there. Playing from the lead, playing from behind, inside, outside, middle. They've seen everything, absolutely everything. Murder Her and Cherry Choke, this is their 9th year in. Poppy Chulo has about that amount of experience between Cincinnati and her time before with Dayton. And so the nice thing about this kind of this veteran leadership is that there's nothing that will surprise a veteran core like that.
Genocide doing damage as she just barrels through, trying to get VC through. It worked, but then VC swallowed back up. Meanwhile, Master Chief taking the lead spot for Neo. VC now working the inside lane, takes a hit, gives a hit, gets another hit, and goes around there on the inside corner. Meanwhile, Master Chief back around to the back end there. Cincy Psycho trying to hold her back along with Ellie Stabber, and Cincy. I'm getting caught up on my own words here.
I would
Ellie
say
Stabber,
the
Genocide.
enunciation is all of a sudden contagious.
Yes.
We're all suffering from it right now.
We're going to work it out, though. What's interesting is that the Audio Assault has consistently been getting lead jammer. However, their blocking core, it seems like they have the Violent Lambs jammer in check, but they're just not quite sealing off that seam on the inside and outside lane, thus creating an opportunity for the jammer for the Violent Lambs to get out, kind of forcing the hand of the Audio Assault skater. Oh, it's just a shove shot to the outside, and everybody was asleep at the wheel. Lead jammer goes to Cincinnati. Only about 10 feet or so behind her is the jammer for the Audio Assault.
Rosa Mariposa.
That's right. Rosa Mariposa pulling double duty tonight.
Yep.
You can just forget how fast Sister Shovechild is until you see her in person again. She's going to get a few points, hopefully, and they call it off immediately.
And
Very smart.
What a lovely move. Remember that scoring goes until the fourth whistle blast. Now, when the jammer touches her hips, then that's when the let's take a look at this. Maybe I can isolate this a little more articulately. I can't see how it could get any worse. Oh no, this is from the outside where Sister Shovechild busted through. She had won the beat. She gets knocked a little bit. Not even that much. Oh, look at that. And she's letting she's giving some audio to the Audio Assault right there. On the line for Audio Assault is number 11, Scarhart. Looks like Big Ugly is on the line for Cincinnati.
This jam is brought to you UC Health Sports Medicine.
That's right. And they would be happy to know that Big Ugly is the lead jammer for Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
It looked like Big Ugly missed an opportunity to just crush Scarhart there, who was kind of looking at the bench, not really paying attention. But eyes on the prize. Big Ugly is more interested in scoring points than settling scores.
You are exactly right. Scarhart now able to get out of the pack as well. Bigley coming around for another pass here. She gets through one layer, gets knocked down hard, comes right back up, calls it off. Smart play there.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. So again, Cincinnati coming out good. Again, pretty equal matchups so far. Lambs ahead 23-15 over Audio Assault right now. Again, the Lambs in the black, Audio Assault in the green. Master Chief coming out there again for Audio Assault from Neo. And again, Sister Shovechild, who's looking great tonight.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And Quad Almighty has the nice luxury of having a lot of people who are able to jam. So he's going to kind of go out with his, with the folks that he's practiced a little bit more consistently. But if it's not working out, he has the opportunity to go to the bench and pull some that are blocking exclusively to this point to become jammer. No real need there because Sister Shovechild is your lead jammer. Once again, Dave, how many is that for Sister Shove?
That is Sister Shovechild's third jam, and just like Wheezy in the previous bout, she is perfect so far with 3. This jam is brought to you by C&D Northside's Neighborhood Bar.
Dave, you were on fire with these sponsors tonight. Can I just tell you?
Oh, boy, where was the blocking there? Sister Shovechild just absolutely caught the Audio Assault asleep as she goes to the outside on the first apex, gets her points, calls it quickly, and it's got a grin ear to ear. This is...
She's kind of the human highlight reel right here.
A little too easy there. Audio Assault really needs to shore up those inside and outside lines if they're hoping to compete this evening against Cincinnati.
That is a talent of Sister Shovechild right there. She will see openings that people don't see, and she sniffs them out before they even realize they're there.
Love Sister Shovechild. Who doesn't? Speaking of loving things, one of Dave's favorite sponsors, Mad Tree and Catch a Fire Cafe.
This is
These
all true.
sponsors of our official timeout right now, and we'll figure out what this is for. But again, Cincinnati doing a great job right now. Lambs up 27-15 over Audio Assault right now. 19:35 left in the first half of play. And looks like, what do we got, Dave?
We had debris on the track that had to get cleared out.
And in the interim, Quad saw something, perhaps with the matchup with Neo. He originally had VC out there as jammer. He decided to change his mind, put in Hot Slice as your jammer. Blocking core will consist of Murder Her, Cherry Choke, Chainsaw, and Skunna Hurt. And here we go.
Secret Destruction jamming right now for Neo and getting caught on that back wall. Hot Slice through. Good call there right now by Quad Almighty. Murder Her knocks out Secret Destruction. and gets a penalty along the way as well.
So let's see how, oh boy, Cherry Choke with a big hit there. So they're able to regroup quite well without the captain murder her in the box. Cincinnati giving them all they can handle. Chainsaw almost drawing a cut.
Yep.
It was very close. Not found by the Zebra crew, however. Initial pass is through. On the scoring pass, we have ourselves Hot Slice, who gets 2 more on that scoring pass. So 6 points all told in that jam.
All right, so we got Big Ugly back out there for the Violent Lambs, and it looks like we got Val Kilry out there for the Audio Assault.
Next jam brought to you by the Northside Collective, longtime sponsors of the Cincinnati Rollergirls. Check them out.
And Nick has picked up the baton.
Hey, you know, I'm trying to do what I can to help this game. Special thanks to all of our skater referees as well as our non-skating officials. They are awesome, so thank you, 513. Big Ugly trying to go outside, working that line, sees a little bit of a crease on the inside, tries to take it and runs it down. She's got 1 to beat and takes it. Lead jammer, Big Ugly.
Boy, when Big Ugly has a little room, she opens up those long stride. She just steps over skaters.
Genocide trying to run down Val Kilry and almost get her. She's able to get through the pack, though. Penalty being assessed on someone, and meanwhile, Big Ugly picks up 5 more.
That's someone being beat upon bitch. It was a tripping on Murder Her, and 4 points as that jam went quickly. 4 points for the Violent Lamb, 0 for the Audio Assault. Let's take a look at that.
How great was it to see Big Ugly go on the inside and jump right there?
Yep.
And Big Ugly's, she's one of those people that loves to hit. She's big skater. She likes to hit people. Whereas she's going for speed, looking for holes right there as a jammer, and she's great at it. Yes, she works those long legs, and she can get speed very fast.
Go ahead, Nick.
I was going to say BC back on the line for Cincinnati and able to take that outside lane, trying to get up there quickly enough. Meanwhile, number 11 out there, Scarheart for Neo. BC able to get that lead jammer spot, though, as she comes around corner number 4. Another jammer or blocker going to the box for Neo.
Scarheart has 1 to beat. That's Cherry Choke, and Cherry knocks her out of bounds. Scarheart needs to recollect herself into the outside. Cherry does as well as she went out of bounds in addition.
Cincinnati speeding up to try and regain that lead. Someone's got a bridge, otherwise no pack's going to be called.
That's right, and wisely, the Violent Lambs go ahead and let Scarheart go, or pardon me, let...
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I was right. I should never question myself. Looks like Cherry Choke on her way to the box. That jam ends. 3 points to the Violent Lambs, 0 for the Audio Assault in that scoring pass.
Score right now, 36 Lambs, Audio Assault 15. 16:32 left in this first half of play. Master Chief coming out on the line now versus Ellie Stabber.
We always like getting that first look at that new skater at the jamming position. So,
nice.
So we were really excited to see what this skater can bring to the table. Looks like Cherry Choke is in the box, and there's another Violent Lamb. Sister Shovechild. Okay, so she's Ellie Stabber. This is probably not the easiest way to make her jamming introduction with the league, as she is a bit of a mismatch. 3-on-2 mismatch is not too deep.
And that
She'll be fine.
timeout right there came from the referee that was manning the box right there.
Interesting. Yeah, so rule change this year. This is a good time to note this, that non-skating officials can actually call penalties now, specifically with the penalty box, with jam timers or delay of games, and any use of profanity directed towards an official or a referee or anything like that. They can call penalties for that. So I don't know what this one's about. We'll see what's going on. And in the meantime, Quad Almighty having a little talk.
You know, and that's a tough thing for skaters, because when you go to the box, there's definitely going to be frustration, whether oftentimes it's self-directed. And so sometimes they will say something, but it's not really directed at a ref, but it's directed at themselves. But it's, you know, that gets lost in translation sometimes. And so the onus is really on the skaters to behave themselves, and it kind of goes into feeds into the whole thing. This is a family-friendly sport, and we certainly like the intensity and the competitiveness, but at the same time, you know, let's try to keep that language, you know, at a minimum, because there are fans literally all over the place surrounding the penalty box that are certainly aware of that. What in the world is happening, Dave?
It's more of a technical difficulty right there. Apparently the NSO from the box couldn't really see the whiteboard, so they're clearing that up a little bit, as well as clearing up what the actual penalty was called on some of the Violent Lambs there. And
we are sorry about the delays in game tonight. Seems like we've had a couple, just minor technical glitches. tend to happen. First game back, we're still knocking the rust off everything. So bear with us. We promise we'll be better, and stick with us. If you've never been down to the Gardens, though, it's an excellent time to talk about that. The historic Cincinnati Gardens, our favorite place, our home. We're glad to be back here. We were afraid we might not be at the end of last year. But we got plenty of games coming up. Dave, tell us when you can come see us again here.
Next chance you get to see us is I'm right first time. April 5th at Ann Arbor, then April 25th with Blue Ridge, then May 9th with Tween City, and finally the season finale for the home team, May 30th against Fort Wayne.
Okay, the jamming debut is about to happen, I promise you. Ellie Stabber coming out now. Master Chief just blows through the pack for the Cincinnati. Just a two-person pack, though. Ellie Stabber one wall. Nice move to the inside. Kind of does some nice footwork there to get out of her initial pass. Half track behind the Audio Assault jammer, nick of time.
No, I was just going to tell you, you mentioned, Master Chief's taking the lead on this one here, but it is very interesting to see the work of Ellie Stabber. That was a very smart play, the way she took that one at a time. And she still picked up 2 points on that move there. But working her initial pass through that gives me a lot of hope for her.
So Audio Assault won that jam, but marginally a 3-2.
You are correct. 38-18 the score right now. Cincinnati with a 20-point lead. 15:30 left to go in the first half of play.
We got Secret Destruction out there for Audio Assault, and we've got Big Ugly out there for the Violent Lambs. This jam is brought to you by Quatman's Cafe.
Good call, Dave. Secret Destruction taking the inside lane. Bigley taking the outside. Bigley fighting her way through, inching one by one, pushing that pack forward like a Mack truck. Oh, but on the outside corner, sneaking by Secret Destruction.
Big Ugly taking a tumble in turn two. Secret Destruction coming close to her scoring pass. Big Ugly got one to beat. She does take a tumble quickly up and through, however. All right, so Secret Destruction's got a pack of, what do we have there?
4-on-2.
Yeah, 4-on-2 indeed. Murder Her, knocking her to the outside. The whole posse's on their way back. Secret Destruction losing her footing slightly. And that's all Big Ugly needed to go through in her secret pass. It looks like Secret Destruction's a little unaware of her surroundings. And I was kind of shocked she's not calling a jam off here.
Yeah, it was a little, I think she got tripped up there when she got spun out. I don't think she realized that Big Ugly was right behind her and snuck through.
And I believe that was an 8-3 win for the Violent Lambs, despite the fact of not having lead jammer. So that's kind of a mental error there, but that's why we play him again.
Out there on the line for Audio Assault is Master Chief, and back out there for the Violent Lambs is VC.
VC, again, a transfer this year from, I believe, where was it? Southern Indiana.
Yes. Oh boy, Master Chief just a little too tough there. They're kind of having this full line. There's a blocker for each lane, and with Master Chief, it seems like maybe they're going to want to kind of bundle up a little bit, because she's really able to get through that first line and put the torque on. All right, so Master Chief calling it quickly, 1-0.
Track cut being assessed as a late penalty as well. So we'll see who goes to the box on this one. But again, I like what I'm seeing from the jamming from Cincinnati in general. I think Shove Child doing great as well. But let's take a replay here, Dave. Let's look and see what this one is.
All right, so this is when Master Chief she works her way through the pack and just gets an inside lane right there. Really, she just bulldozed her way through it there.
It looks like Skunner Hurt was attempting to kind of help her jammer out, and in the process sort of left the door a little open. Her teammates could have used a little backup up front, but you live and you learn.
And then you get loves.
That's right. Scarhart taking jamming responsibilities, but all eyes on Hot Slice as she's your lead jammer, nick of time.
And Slice working her way through very quickly through that pack, and almost all the way back around. Scarhart trying to make it through, getting knocked around every which way, tumbles on her own.
Boy, and I tell you, the Lambs were asleep at the wheel there. Scarhart, but she's going to the box. My point being that she took a tumble, and they could have just jumped right on her. As it turns out, it really didn't mean anything, because the track cut was assessed, and she's going anyways. Quad Almighty is saying, you keep this skating going, young lady. And the pack starts to speed up a little bit, and it looks like Cherry Choke, they're going to try to converge on number 7. They should at least. There they are. They have her there. She's going, she's
tumbling down
off the jam. But this is a strategy that Quad is nodding. And upon a little introspection, I come to agree with it myself. They want to they want to start off the next jam with the audio assault jammer still in the box. Bear in mind, she's standing up, so she does have less than 10 seconds to serve. So Skunna Hurt has a little time to work by her lonesome.
Marty, I did have that same reaction at first. I was like, why is she calling it off? And I was like, oh, because
of that. But
right
you
there.
weren't in the mid-sentence, so you weren't. I was the one that was obliged to walk it back a little. But
It's okay.
It's a beautiful game. Oh,
This is
Skunna
good.
Hurt almost through. She's got one to beat. I think she's got it. Ladies
does.
Jammer, Skunna
Yep.
Hurt.
Skunna
Lambs
Hurt.
look alive, getting Scarhart, getting all the attention for Scarhart. Oh boy, big
Nice
hit there.
rotation.
Yep. Skunna Hurt, meanwhile, continuing terror on the track. Skunna Hurt, the first Cincinnati junior roller girl to make it to the Cincinnati Roller Girl team, and impressed us all last year with really superior play for her age.
Aye, aye, aye. Here
Right
comes.
now, she's working with just one blocker, with his Psycho out there.
Yep. 3-on-1 advantage. 3-on-2 now as I believe number 26 comes back on Monocrass.
Right. Well, Genocide and Mama Crass were both on the way to the box at the same time. Too much room as Genocide hit the box first. Mama Crass said, please, penalty person, tell me to go back out there. All right.
4 points for audio assault there as Skunna Hurt gets through the pack again here, but it's going to get called on a track cut.
This is problematic, gentlemen. The score currently 65-26. Let's see if that lead can be maintained or if Audio Assault's going to be able to chip away at it because they have a huge numbers advantage currently.
Yes.
Right now we got
4 on 3.
Genocide, Ellie Stabber, and Cincinnati Psycho out there blocking, and they're doing the job right now. They knocked her out.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
Ellie Stabber, good move there, bringing her back. Cincinnati controlling the front line. Scarhart trying to work her way inside now, and Genocide holding that one down. Scarhart on the outside, knocks her in. Good hit there.
Scarhart, you kind of get a
And a
sense
track
she
cut.
might be feeling. Yeah. Oh, and gets a track up, but
Look at that awareness from the rookie.
yes. And you can
Well,
tell
not really
Scarhart looks a little tired. She looks like she's taking some hits in this one. She skated just before in the previous bout, and she's taking some hits she probably can't just shake off.
All right, so Skunna Hurt is coming through on a scoring pass. I'm not sure if she was able to get past any hips before the jam came to its natural conclusion. No, she did not. So our score looks to be 70 for the Violent Lambs, 30 for the Audio Assault. 40-point margin with a little bit over 9 minutes and 10 seconds left in this first half. So, gentlemen, it looks like they're kind of at a feeling out period a little bit. Despite the 40-point margin, it seems like the Violent Lambs have really yet to hit fifth gear and really kind of hit their real stride. They're certainly playing well and playing not as a nice unit, but it just seems like they're scratching the surface at this point. Oh boy, as I say that, Sister Shovechild says scratch this surface. I'm taking lead jammer.
This lead jam is brought to you by the Skating Place. Looks like Anatomical's on her way to the box.
Nice patience exhibited. Oh, beautiful patience exhibited by Sister Shovechild. Going to the outside, kind of slowing her momentum, takes a couple steps to the inside, finds that lane right on that inside line, and gets 5 points for her efforts.
Oh, and the pack comes in to help out now. Murder Her taking the inside lane, making sure Shove doesn't get knocked out. And on the outside, Shove is going to take a little tumble.
Oh boy, a lot of people are taking the tumble on turn 3. Sister
Shove calls it
Shovechild said, "I done enough damage."
And everyone getting up a little slow on that one. And that one looks a little hurt.
Let's take a look at this pileup, boys.
All right, so we're going to turn 3
So
here.
this is why they call it the danger zone.
Yep.
Oh boy,
Ow.
that's Murder Her just playing the wood.
Olive Payne
Yikes.
still holding onto that arm tenderly as she gets back to the bench. So we'll have the medics team check her out here.
That was definitely a replay that you saw why Murderer is called the enforcer right
That's
there.
right.
In the meantime, it looks like we have a referee review going on, our official review rather. It looks like Big Ugly going to take the jamming duties from Cincinnati here, and Val Kilree taking them for Neo. And again, this official review brought to you by J. Arthur Shell and Associates. Check them out. And just a special thank you, as always, to our new and favorite sponsor for the live stream broadcast, Tom and Chi.
My guess is the review pertains to that big hit that Murder Her delivered. I'm thinking they're looking for a high block there, perhaps even a forearm. It's kind of hard to that specific call is a little hard to get reviewed because it's
Yes.
such a subjective call. But they're going to roll the dice and see if they can't put the enforcer in the box for 30 seconds. We'll see how it turns out.
Yep, as we go along here, I mean, again, Cincinnati, a good start so far tonight, 79. The score for the Lambs, 30 for Audio Assault. Just under 8 minutes left in the first half of play here tonight. Earlier tonight, we saw the Cincinnati Black Sheep win over Neo Rock and Rollergirls, and I believe the score of that was 308 to 96.
Tell you what, Nick, I'll bet you a free beer at at the Mad Tree Brewery that I was right. What do you say, Dave? You got the knowledge.
All right, they've decided to give a skater warning, and I believe it was directed at Murderer on that one.
But what's that do? Does she go to the box? She just had.
Warning.
I mean, it seems.
If she does it again,
Okay.
she'll sit in
Yeah.
timeout. Maybe. I don't know.
So just letting her know, hey, let's rein it in. Let's But my thing is, if it's worth a warning, it should be worth a penalty.
Exactly,
It would be
yeah.
a penalty plus a warning. You know what I'm saying? But to have a warning without the penalty it seems like they're skipping a step.
A little bit.
Anywho,
A little bit of a slap on the hand, and then play on.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look. So here we see Murder Her coming in from the outside of your screen.
I mean,
I don't want to say. All right, I'll be more delicate in my choice of words. It was a big hit, and the body positioning was a little unfortunate. It looked like she came in, and she came in a little hard. Anyways, we'll drop it at that. Murder Her has a warning for what that's worth. Big
But at
Ugly
the
on
same
the.
time, she did try to help up. I believe she knocked down Rosa Mariposa. I think she knew she hit her really hard.
Yeah.
And she tried to help her up.
Absolutely.
Big Ugly just got called for a block in the back, so their jammer out there will have an opportunity to score some points here.
Right. Yep. So they're leaving the door open certainly for Audio Assault with the penalty situation.
Valkyrie, power jam.
And Valkyrie seems up to the task. Got through the initial pass with relative ease. Going to the outside there. Violent Lamb speeding up, trying to regroup a little bit.
Yep.
We got Anatomical last line of defense, unable to hold as the pack sort of falls apart. 5 points to the credit of the Audio Assault. Nick.
Chainsaw going to the box on that one for a multiplayer block. 3 on the pack for Cincinnati as Audio Assault comes in to help out on the inside lane. They're trying to make some room. Is 2:37. That's going to be Jackie Torments.
And the streak is ended. Poppy Chulo to the box.
Oh,
Poppy
wow.
Chulo to the box. Poppy Chulo to the box.
That's a really big
Here
deal.
we go.
Oh,
Big hit
Big
by
Ugly.
Big Ugly.
Big hit.
Surprised
Oh, boy.
her.
Big Ugly might be going back to the box on that one. Hold on.
Back block.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to have to take a look. Yeah, I think
She'll get
is. The Zebras are asking about that. But we're going to take a look at this big hit by Big Ugly.
Coming around the corner,
Old Audio.
unsuspecting.
Absolutely.
Boom. Down, call off.
See, but here's the thing. She went in with so much speed. She was feeling good about that hit, and then looked up and said, oh, God, I got a neon green wall, and kind of ran right into that. So more than likely, Big Ugly will be going to the box for that, although she is yet to.
I think that's what this review is going to be.
Yeah, but it seemed like the officials were talking specifically about that. It looked like a decision has been made, and
well, Quad has called this timeout, so he wants to discuss it.
perhaps Quad is going to be using the ironclad argument of
Was that your favorite argument, Marty?
Actually, it was, oh, no, she didn't.
Oh, no, she did.
But sometimes she
did.
She in fact did.
Anyways, moving right along. Score right now, Lamb 79, Audio Assault 40 as 6:30 left on the clock, and this game continues to have stoppages.
Right. So also, sometimes we are granted a unique vantage point, being up here in the announcer booth.
That's the best way to put that.
So we could tell you, without getting into too much detail, that Ms. Hot Slice isn't feeling so well.
Yeah.
And we'll just sort of leave it at that. She makes her way back to the bench. So, definitely the adrenaline's kicking. The heartbeats are going rapidly. And 6:30 left in this first half. This is the first, real deal game experience in quite a long time for this unit, and really for both units. So,
it is.
You could scrimmage all you want in practice and do things, but until you do it for real,
You don't know.
Exactly.
Yep, I'm with you completely. Yes, we almost had a scene of the replacements going on here in the middle of the play. But anyway, Dave, what was this about?
As we suspected, Quad is challenging the back block that was called on Big Ugly. And by the way, Marty, I think you have a future in diplomacy because you put that very delicately. I was rather impressed.
Thanks, guys.
It was a good move.
I do what I can to move the dialogue forward and to give our viewers at home
The true experience.
exactly.
The things
And
they
really,
might just miss.
and which leads us to what you can't have the true experience listening to a bunch of knuckleheads like us. You got to come out to the Cincinnati Gardens, watch it firsthand, then you go home and listen to us knuckleheads. Let's watch it one more time because
We got time.
we got a little time on our hands. So here comes Big Ugly's hit, which is
Boom.
beautiful and clean, and then she looks up and it looks like
oh gosh, there's a
looks
wall.
like a desk full of highlighters, and she just ran right into that one, going
And
to the
that
box
call was held.
as well. It should have been.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that call. So, oh boy,
Oh, good move. Ellie Stabber. Oh, I'm shocked.
it was close to being a brilliant move. Ellie Stabber did lose her footing
Footing.
inbounds. She went out of bounds. Oh boy.
Just asleep there.
Genocide not sealing that number one lane and 5 points due to that
Inside lane,
lack of attention.
open, outside lane, a little bit of a crease. Masher Chief trying to work her way through and pushing and shoving, and looks like she's going to be able to do that. But meanwhile, Ellie Stabber again getting knocked outside, getting called for a counterclockwise block.
So Big Ugly has come back on the track, but Ellie Stabber and Chainsaw have both gone to the box for the Black Sheep.
Forearm again on Big Ugly.
Genocide now, I think, going to the box as well. My goodness me. The penalty box is sponsored by the Cincinnati Violent Lambs
Tonight, yes.
and the holiday of maximum occupancy. So, boy, and now this is the challenge of the person manning the penalty box, because of course you can only have there's spots for the jammer and 2 blockers. Now, on the subject of penalties, I believe we have a replay as this game's getting a little tight. Only a 29-point lead for the Violent Lambs. Let's take a look at it real quick before we get to the live action.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty
We
fun.
got to rein it in, gang. This is
okay.
not a time for frustration. In the meantime, Audio Assault is exploiting the mistakes, the mental errors of the Violent Lambs. Lead jammer going to
But
Audio
two.
Assault. Genocide going to the box.
Last
Okay.
line of defense, though. Murder. Who else would you rather have out there?
No doubt about it. Okay, so
2 more come back in.
which is good. And this is the beauty of having a 30-second penalty, because if it was back in the old way of the minute,
Ooh.
boy, there would be
Rough
a
minute.
jam upon jam where the same players were in the box. So, anywho,
Just under 4.5 minutes left. We've got the Lambs at 79. Audio Assault at 55.
Big Ugly able to make it through. Not scoring pass, though. Valkyrie calls it off smartly as
Right.
the Audio Assault inches closer.
they sure are. Boy, Violent Lambs, maybe even a timeout wouldn't be a bad idea, as the Big Mo, as I like to call it. I didn't invent that. I heard
Big
that
Mo?
somewhere. Momentum is on the side of
Yes.
the Audio Assault in a big, big way. And sometimes that timeout, even though it's in the first half, and you love to kind of keep those extra ones in your pocket towards the end of the game when you really need it. You might want to head it off with the pass a bit and steal back that momentum a little bit, but we will see.
Meanwhile, Hot Slice out jamming for Cincinnati and taking that inside lane, taking it fast and able to get around.
This jam brought to you by Quality Printing and Design.
And right now, the jammer out for Neo as well. Stuck against Cherry
Oh.
Choke, who is just giving her a big hug.
Oh, boy. And I don't know why in the world.
Yes, and they got it. They got it.
Yes. Anyway, Cherry Choke going to the box, and so is the jammer for Neo.
Well, the thing there was Cherry had her on lockdown, and then Mama Crass kind of jumped in, hit the jammer, but in the process jostled Cherry Choke out of position.
Yep.
But in any event, Cherry's in the box, as is the Audio Assault jammer, so really no worse for the wear.
Yep.
Hot Slice coming in for yet another scoring pass.
Hot
Cherry-
Slice.
oh, boy,
Whoa.
Mama Crass
Mama
making up for that.
Crass.
Again, she's
That
just
was a huge hit.
knocking people all over the place.
Wow. And that's a penalty, I think. I don't
Nope,
know.
Mama's
Against
fine.
Mama Crass? No, I think
Oh,
there
they
was a
called it on somebody else?
Well, it was a clean hit on Mama Crass. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Wow.
If I saw the penalty that you're referring to. Sorry.
I thought I had seen a high or a low block there, but maybe it was called. Let's take a look at the replay,
Yes.
Dave.
The beauty of video.
All right, let's see it again and figure out what actually just happened. So Mama comes in right there, takes out Cincy Psycho right there. And this is freeze up hot slice right here. And I believe this is where we can see the penalty right there.
Oh, there, yep.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, at any rate, Valkyrie out there jamming for Neo, and VC out there for Cincinnati. Valkyrie trying to inside, VC trying to work outside, taking the front line of that pack. It is a 2-pack, and she is able to outskate and gets the lead jammer spot. Valkyrie working against that back line. Murder her back there, holding her down and getting some help there from Poppy Chulo, I believe.
And Scunna-Hurt.
Yeah, Scunna-Hurt wearing the pivot stripe and having a nice hit there, knocking her to the outside once again. Ooh. This is Scunna-Hurt's jam on the blocking side of things. Definitely a lot of support going from the veterans. Audio Assault able to squirt through their initial pass, but VC is on. She's kicked it into gear, I'll say. After kind of a little bit of a sluggish start, she looks back to Quad Almighty. He says, let's call it off. And she says, you got it, coach.
Well, 1:20 left on the official clock for the first half here. Your score 103-59. So as quickly as Audio Assault gets right back in it, 2 big jams back-to-back for Cincinnati. Inched them further ahead. So, again, good jamming right now.
Yeah, the Violent Lambs are able to get that momentum back, and then they're going to throw Sister Shovechild back out there.
Let's watch Sister Shovechild getting in front of Magic G and kind of giving her a little shake it. And
apparently an official review. We'll see what's going on. I don't know if that was I don't know if a penalty is being applied to someone right now. We'll find out for this official review. But again, this whole broadcast brought to you by Tom & Chi. Thank you for Tom & Chi sponsoring our live stream this year. Let's see what this replay is about, gentlemen.
All right, so this is when VC was working through. I think this is when Murder, throws Scunna-Hurt.
Scunna knocked her to the outside.
Murder threw Scunna into the jammer. It was a nice move by Murder right there. Yeah.
Very nice. Great teamwork. We're seeing a lot of it. We're seeing a lot of fun out there.
Speaking of fun,
I wish I could move like that.
Is dancing for the crowd.
In my mind, I can move like that.
Skater or fan favorite, Sister Shovechild, I'll say.
And the skater favorite as well.
And skater favorite.
Absolutely beloved by her teammates. It just brings such a great positive energy to.
That was for a clarification of a clockwise block call.
Hey. Oh. Okay. Well, moving right along, Shovechild out there versus Master Chief from Neo. Again, Cincinnati in the black, Neo in the green, I guess, the neon green. 103-59 the score as we get ready for this, what might be the last jam in the first half here. Shove powering forward before the pivot line.
Oh no, she's going to the box. She went, She felt really good and then feeling really bad now.
Lead jammer goes to Master Chief though.
Cherry Choke on her way to the box. I'm not seeing the hand signal for, Sister Shovechild going for 2 minutes. So we will get a little, a double penalty, which would be a 1-minute penalty. Excuse me, I'm old school, I guess.
It's gonna hurt. Meanwhile, taking on basically Neo.
And this is exactly what Neo needs to end the half. Remember, they were down by, to begin this jam, better part of 45 points down. And the wheels are coming off for Cincinnati at this point in time. So they need to, Audio Assault needs to maximize the advantage there. Oh boy, Chainsaw was lucky to not get a clockwise on that.
Yep.
As Cherry Choke makes her way back, she's going to meet the jammer and engage as probably at about 10 feet behind the pack.
Clock expires. Jam clock continues, and Nash
Interesting.
Call it off.
Interesting.
Wow.
You know, you would think that you would at least want to get past Cherry to get the points for the people in the box. So, opportunity kind of passed by there. But listen, we're talking about almost nearly a 50-point lead, dwindled down to 29-point lead. Yes, if my math is correct.
You are
it probably is wrong.
Yes.
But so a 29-point. 29-point margin going into halftime. The Lambs always had the lead, I shouldn't say that. They started off with the tie, but for the most part, the Lambs had a control of this game pretty much since Jan 5 on. However, it looks like right when they're about ready to really pull away, penalties start to mount, and Audio Assault, to their credit, is able to take advantage of those opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Looking good so far, though. Again, close game. Stick with us here, ladies and gentlemen, for this second half. We will be right back at you in just a little bit. So stick with us. Again, I'm Nick Time. With me, Coach Marty, Dave F. and Pal. Your score at the half, 103-74. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the historic Cincinnati Gardens for this, the second half of the second game this evening. Your Cincinnati Violent Lambs leading Neo's Audio Assault 103-74. But wow, have we got a lot to talk about. I'm your Nick of Time. With me, as always, my Coach Marty and my Dave Evan Pal. You can't have them because they're mine. Coach Marty, talk to me about the last half.
Well, the Violent Lambs they were looking pretty good to start off with, and about halfway through the first half, they started really gaining some momentum. Mainly since the Shove Child turned it on, Big Ugly doing some nice jamming, and then at I want to say about the 8-minute mark, the wheels are starting to fall off. Penalties. And Dave will address those a little bit more specifically in just a moment. But what the Violent Lambs need to do, and I'm sure this is what Claude was addressing, is take a look at what the Black Sheep did earlier on. Play within yourself. Trust your teammates. Do not go for the big hit, because it's not the scoring pass that's hurting them. That it's the sloppy foul and the subsequent being sent to the box, and then the subsequent scoring passes from there. That's what is really, again, the Violent Lambs were flirting with a 50-point lead at one point. Now we're looking at a 29-point lead. So Neo Audio Assault taking advantage of those opportunities, certainly. So it's just a matter of take a step back, take a deep breath, trust in your teammates, don't be a hero, stay within the plan. Dave, you got some specifics for me, and I'm dying to hear them.
All right, so scoring-wise, Hot Slice leads the Lambs with 34, followed by Big Ugly at 22, Sister Shove Child at 19. Then we've got Scunna at 14, VC at 11, and Ellie Stabber at 2. For the Neo Audio Assault, we've got Master Chief at 33, Valkyrie at 19, and Darn it, I almost got through it. Secret Destruction at 11. But the thing that is causing us the concern is this. Murderer and Chainsaw both have 5 penalties. Sister Shove Child has 4 penalties. If we noticed in the earlier bout, no one had more than 3 at the half. And then for Audio Assault, no one is actually in any trouble whatsoever.
Wow. Yes, Murderer had some trouble in the first half as well, getting a warning for a pretty big block that she gave away. So again, just things to watch out for in this second half of play here. Again, some Lambs in trouble for penalties. We'll get started here in just a minute, though. Master Chief going to take the line for Neo, and I believe Cincinnati starting off with a
full house in the box.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
It's not just Dave Coulier and Bob Saget. It's the Violent Lambs. They're filling up that thing, and boy, I tell you, Master Chief having no trouble in turn 1 getting lead jammer status. Out of the box now is Sister Shove Child, walking into a sea of green. Murder Her back on the floor now, and will be the first line of defense against the in the scoring pass of Master Chief. Nice move to the outside, knocking her to the outside. And Master Chief and Shove Child both being knocked to the outside, having to reset all the way back.
Shove taking a turn now, trying to go outside, gets a little bit of a knock, stays in, and then gets pushed out again. So rough going here as Masher picks up 4 points there. Shove's going to have to re-enter again from all the way back behind. Cincinnati sticking to that front line.
This is a test for Sister Shove Child. She's frustrated right now. Obviously, she got that double penalty before. She is through the pack, not lead, of course. That belongs to Master Chief, but she is through, and that is a good sign. So
that's a very good call, Marty. Like right now is actually for the whole team to stay focused, stay together. Poppy and Annie Tomical started out pretty much the impossible task, blocking the 2 of them.
Right.
Now they get reinforcements. Let's just resettle back in.
Exactly. So you give up 9 points, but more importantly, the penalty box is cleared out. You reset. You start anew. On the line for Cincinnati Violent Lambs would be number 71, Hot Slice. 216 for the Audio Assault, taking jammer duties. That, of course, is Secret Destruction. Don't worry, Dave. I got that one.
20-point difference right now, 103-83. Cincinnati still on top. Hot Slice looking to make a dent in that.
There it is.
Oh, and she goes outside, goes inside, trying to push away these blockers. And Neo holding solid on that front line. Good defense right now. Oh, and on the outside, sneaking by, Secret Destruction, taking that lead spot. Hot Slice, meanwhile, working her way through. Gets some big help from Scunna.
Nice offensive block by Scunna. Just what the doctor ordered. So important to get out of that initial pass. Do not let that jammer get those 5 points. We can pop up the 4, but if your jammer's stuck, there's no incentive for them to call it off.
And a good move there by Secret Destruction to sneak through and call that one off. No points, Cincinnati, and 5 more for Audio Assault.
Scarhart went to the box for the Audio Assault. We're going to have Big Ugly taking the line for the Violent Lambs. And Master Chief, it's been a long night for her, but she is still skating really hard and scoring points and doing really well.
She is. Marty, when you're with a team who's got a lead like this, but things are starting to fall apart, what do you tell them?
It's just settle down. Just calm down. You know, whether you're up by 20 or down by 20, don't let the emotion of that moment take control. Remember that you are better when you're in control, and we're talking about in control. Big Ugly has control of lead jammer status.
Right now, Cincinnati bottlenecking Master Chief and doing a great job of it as they recycle blockers here and there. Master Chief, one more to beat and gets around number 26, which I believe is Mama Kratz.
Oh, nice move to the center for Big Ugly. She's able to work through the pack while looks like Audio Assault was a little distracted, and wisely, Big Ugly calls it off.
So like that, back and forth, jammers keep on scoring each other. Let's take a look at the replay here, Dave.
All right, so coming out of turn 4 right here, they just look the wrong way, and she just powers her way through. Big Ugly is one of those deceptive skaters. You don't realize actually how fast she is.
Long strides.
Absolutely, and being burnt earlier on in the game by the outside and inside lanes, I think Neo Audio Assault kind of overcompensated for that, and in the process left the middle open, and Big Ugly was more than happy to skate right through the middle.
Yeah, took an advantage of that. Meanwhile, on the line for Cincinnati, I believe, is VC.
Yes.
VC trying to work her way up front. Jammer for Neo stuck on the back end right there. VC 3 to beat, and that line holding solid for her as Neo unable to budge for VC rather. Meanwhile, Val Kilreath stuck on the back half of Cincinnati's line.
So both squads in playing the same strategy of all defense all the time, letting their jammers do the, work out their own issues. Looks like BC is getting close, and I like the way she keeps moving. Eventually, keep moving those skates, and you see good things happen, and indeed they do. Lead jammer goes to BC, the newcomer.
That was really set up well by our wall. They stalled long enough that a pack was not called, and then that released VC right there.
Yep, pulling them back far enough. Meanwhile, Val Kilreath out. And VC,
keep moving.
Sneaks through. Good move there as she's able to get out as well.
And in this era of roller derby, to see good offensive blocking is almost, an aberration. But it was really nice to see it there. They were mindful of where the other jammer was in relation to the floor and knew that they, had a little time to free up their jammer. And let's take a look at it.
All right, so coming out of turn 2, VC's great block right there to free her up. It looks like that was Mama Kratz. And
everybody
then just jumps through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man-on-man coverage there as we take it back live.
And Marty, you called it. That was definitely a jam where it didn't pop open easily. It was a very patient jam, and both blockers are working really well on each set of jams.
And it was so important, especially with the Violent Lambs, because they have not been exhibiting a ton of patience lately. Oh, nice move. Strong move to the outside, keeping her skates in bounds. Assist the shove child. She is your lead jammer. On the way to the box is anatomical. The pivot. Audio Assault jammer still,
Secret Destruction, yep.
Looks like Sister Shovechild went to the well one too many times on that outside line. It worked the first time, but not so much on the second, having to come all the way back. Sister Shovechild wisely calling off that jam before any points can happen for Neo. So, hey, the first 2 jams did not start off very well for Cincinnati, but they seem to have righted the ship a bit and taken control of lead jammer status. And when you have lead jammer, you hold the cards, don't you?
I tell you what, you're right. And tell you who else is holding the cards and the torch right now. Sister Shovechild getting that crowd going again. Meanwhile, on the line is going to be number 11, Scarhart, I'm sorry, and then Hot Slice back out there for Cincinnati. Slice taking the inside lane.
Neither jammer really interested
Moving.
in moving the thing, which is interesting.
No pack,
Slice.
nothing.
Interesting strategy to employ of just everybody, jammer included, honing in on Hot Slice.
Oh, good move.
Get through.
She is through. She is your lead jammer.
Scarhart caught on that back end, knocked to the inside by that Cincinnati line, and they are really pushing her to that inside lane.
Right before Hot Slice got released there, everyone kind of hit the track, and she just recovered faster to get out to the inside.
And that's the problem when your jammer decides to play defense is, if it doesn't happen, then you're in a really poor position to get through the pack, as Scarhart has learned. And Scarhart is coming through. That would have been her scoring pass, but to Hot Slice's credit, she calls off the jam before any damage done. 4 points for the Violent Lambs, 0 for Audio Assault. So, again, the Lambs are started to take a little bit more control here in the second half. Let's take a quick look at the replay, boys.
Break it down, Davey.
All right, so this is when everyone hits the track right there, and then she actually trips them up, and one skate in on the inside is actually all the difference it made for her to get the lead jammer.
Beautiful. Master Chief on the line now, knocking Big Ugly to the middle there.
And we're seeing a new strategy.
There we go.
And again.
Good defense there by Neo.
Yeah, they did. And it looked like they were going to get burnt once again as Master Chief kind of jostled her position. Big Ugly looked like she had a seam on the outside. That did not happen, and Master Chief is your lead jammer.
It was Secret Destruction that actually sealed off the outside on Big Ugly.
That's a great move.
Yeah.
That was like a trap and a half, and it opened up the lane for Master Chief, who was still working their way through. Oh, and Big Ugly didn't get it that time. Close.
I heard whistle blasts, and as the whistles were blasting, the ref held up his hand in scoring, so it looked like it was a smidge premature. But anyways.
That's Marty for you. That's the old coach.
I just calls it as I see it. And in my defense, I do give credit. There are often times where I think they did make the right call, and I'll be the first to compliment them on that. But sometimes they get a little. This is a show child. So we were seeing this for 3 jams in a row. Audio Assault only starting off, jammer included, playing defense. Sister Showchild having none of it. Pops to the outside, gets lead jammer, getting the crowd excited.
Good move there by Showchild, taking that lead spot, and there's a lot of room open on the track right now for her to move as she moves outside, trying to get around that lane. Oh, able to get through one to beat, and will she do it? I think she will. Pack too thin, she's got to go.
And as she was entering the pack, Genocide did a great job of blocking Valkyrie, their jammer, out, and then actually drew the track cut on her.
Good move there as the clock continues to run. Time on Cincinnati's side right now. And Shovechild, meanwhile, also on Cincinnati's side, picking up 5 more on this power jam.
So, Marty, would you say this is exactly what Cincinnati needs right now? Is a nice power jam by
Sister
Sister?
Shovechild doing her best Coco Beware on that. She's feeling it right now, and you could definitely feel her intensity. She's kind of real. She's getting excited when it's appropriate to be excited. Right here, she's feeling good. What am I doing? What am I doing? Should I stop? Okay, great. But when it comes time to come into the pack, she's
focused.
She's focused. She's not taking too much speed into the pack. She's, she's exercising good judgment, and it's good to see because not only her, but several other skaters for the Violent Lambs seem to kind of gone in panic mode for reasons that I don't really quite understand, but it happens. You lose a little bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden you feel like you need to do a little more than you should, and you have to be a hero. Not the case.
131 the score right now for Cincinnati, 89 Audio Assault. So again, what was a lot of momentum on Neo's side, suddenly switching for Cincinnati at the moment. Master Chief in there jamming for Neo, and it looks like VC out there for Cincinnati. VC goes down to her knees. Oh, and everyone passes by. Meanwhile, Master Chief trying to work her way up front, and Cherry Choke, the last line of defense, has to let her go by. VC taking a beating in the back of that pack line, though, by Neo. Good pack work there.
And good awareness by VC, not really having clear vision of the block that knocked her out, but knew that she needed to go back.
Oh, in
nice.
The outside crease.
Absolutely.
She's able to work her way through her initial pass. Yeah, so there was a lead that was down to 19. It's worked its way back up to 42. They got some points on that one. Looks like 3 points for Audio Assault. So A little bit of control back. A little bit of control. We'll see. It feels like it's going to be going back and forth, I believe, this whole second half.
Yep. We'll see what happens. Big Ugly on the line now for Cincinnati. And I believe 216, that's going to be Secret Destruction again for Neo. They've gone to her a lot tonight, it looks like. So we'll see if she's able to continue that success.
Absolutely, along with Master Chief, kind of the two primary go-to point scorers. They've certainly sprinkled in other jammers in the process, but those are the two that have been getting the most results. Big Ugly getting pressed to the outside, Secret Destruction getting pressed to the outside again. Both jammers, now Big Ugly is able to work her way through the outside. She is your lead jammer upon the first apex.
Shoulder down, kept pushing, got through that one. Secret Destruction working against the three-wall here. Skuna Hurt, Cincy Psycho, and Ellie Stabber. Able to get around.
Work her way out of the pack. She's right now. Big Ugly is trying to get a scoring pass, and hopefully she can call it off. Yes, before Secret Destruction could get back there.
It was funny. She was kind of calling with one hand, and then the other had raced down to knock out the foremost blocker. So they kind of slapped hands at the kind of finding humor in that as well. So, lively game, hotly contested certainly, but a lot of good sportsmanship exhibited here.
17:20 left on the clock right now, and again, Valkyrie taking the reins again for Neo's Hot Slice out there for Cincinnati, and Valkyrie working on the outside of the track. Hot Slice sees the open lane on the inside, just guns it down, able to beat out Scarheart. Oh, wow, and Valkyrie seeing the similar lane, runs up to the front line and stopped by Cherry Choke.
Looks like Murder and Mama Crass are there to help as well.
Oh, and wow, Hot Slice.
And this is where the Lambs are at their best. When they got their veteran leadership kind of triangling up, working in tandem.
Saw that block too. Murr getting a little jumpy on that one. Got lucky there. And Cincinnati holding back. Valkyrie still in her initial pass.
This is outstanding pack work by the Lambs blockers. And just when the audio assault feels like the jammer's about through, they get sucked right back in again.
No pack.
Okay, Hot Slice on the way to the box for a track cut. This is going to give the Audio Assault an opportunity here to score some points. It looks like there's about a minute left in this jam. It will stop at its natural conclusion as there is no lead jammer. That being forfeited by Hot Slice by the fact of her going to the box.
3-on-3 right now in the pack as well. Cherry Choke bleeding in the box for Cincinnati. Valkyrie doing well, trying to work her way piecemeal this pack and able to get by what's left of the pack, which is Poppy Chulo, Murder Her, and I believe Mama Grass.
But this is exactly what I was talking about coming out of halftime is give up the scoring pass, but keep yourself on the floor, and that's exactly what they did. Murder Her almost giving enough nudging to draw to the outside, but very quick and good on her skates is Valkyrie. She's able to hold off that blow and stay in for 5 points.
Meanwhile, Hot Slice out of the pack or out of the box, and so just toes that line and gets by again for 4 more points. So picks up right where she left off.
Absolutely.
I'm really surprised when Valkyrie saw Hot Slice get in front of her. She did not. I guess she couldn't call it off. My
That's
bad.
exactly,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
You're right.
She was
You were
not
right.
lead.
Yeah. She actually was powerless in that situation.
This jam seems like it goes on forever, but
That's
it just
right.
goes to the 2 minutes. Clock bleeding down now. 15 minutes left on this second half of this game here. 144-104. The score right now, 105, I'm sorry. Hot Slice having fun out there, showing it.
Most definitely.
And Marty, tell me about being at the Gardens here.
It's a unique sports experience. Remember, this is built in the early 60s. Anybody who was anyone in terms of rock and roll was through here.
Yep.
Elvis, Hendrix, the Beatles.
Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates, of course Hall & Oates. I should have put Hall & Oates first, actually.
You should have. I love Hall & Oates.
Anyway.
H to the O.
It'll be for the next game. But sporting events, NBA basketball, Xavier basketball.
You're right, the Royals.
Wrestling. I mean, you name it, it was here. This was the spot in Cincinnati. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is. And you got yourself, and Sister Shupchild needs to be careful here. She's kind of doing the thumbs down, drawing the ire of the ref, who was not hesitant to give her a double penalty in the last half. So she needs to kind of keep her emotions in check. Nice move by Master Chief, got pressed to the outside, almost
Ellie?
was able to keep it in. That was Ellie. That was the youngster that came in and made that happen. So that's a huge play for a team that has their own jammer in the box.
Good here, Mir.
What we're noticing in this bout, as compared to the earlier bout, was the Black Sheep were able to get that knockout punch. They just had that momentum, and they were able to dominate. This just keeps going back and forth a little bit. And
it does.
Right when we think the Violent Lambs might put them away, might knock them out, Audio Assault, to their credit, just keeps coming back.
Yes, they do. They keep pushing through the adversity here tonight. So, again, credit to both these teams. Neo hanging in there. Meanwhile, 216 takes the line. That's Secret Destruction for Neo. And it looks like we're going to have some kind of a official review, maybe not.
And I definitely agree. Neo is to be credited for hanging in there and that kind of thing. But the Violent Lambs for the nice jams that they've had a lot of self-inflicted errors that have usually resulted into whether it be trips to the box, and things of that nature, and it makes it tough. But VC is through.
Yep.
Not cleanly, but she is through cleanly. She got knocked down, but she is your lead jammer, and that's all that counts around these parts.
Kept those arms in, didn't incur that penalty. Good work there by VC. Meanwhile, Secret Destruction out as well.
David, looks like Quad was calling for VC to get 4 and call it, and that's exactly what happened.
Nice move, very smart move by her. She also was very smart when she actually got lead jammer status. She got knocked out, but the player that knocked her out went out as well, so she was able just to enter back in immediately.
It's a really hard. Let's take a look at that. It's really, as VC's giving the camera a little love. It's really hard to keep all those factors in mind, and because the game happens so darn quickly.
Oh, and she didn't even
didn't
go
even
out.
go out.
Wow, I thought she went out there, but she didn't even go out.
Good awareness. Well, needless to say, Big Ugly on the line now, and it's she's taking on Rosa Mariposa. And Rosa stuck on the back half, fighting against her own line there, playing a little D, and able to get Big Ugly out, but goes out herself as Genocide scoots back to help her team out.
Ooh. Nice hit by Ellie Stabber to free up Big Ugly there.
Oh, and she goes out of bounds on a back block. Bigly, those arms, she's got very long arms and other limbs. So sometimes I feel like she incurs penalties, but not through her own fault. It's just that her body is the way it is.
Well, the outside lane was there. There was a Neo blocker. I apologize because my vantage point precluded me from seeing who it was, but it shut the door real quick, and so I could definitely see the grounds for the foul there, but.
This second half moving very fast, by the way, too.
In comparison, absolutely.
This is going crazy fast. So time not on Neo's side right now as we have 11 minutes left to go as this jam comes to its end. And again, we want to thank all of our sponsors, especially Tom and Chi, for this wonderful broadcast that would not be possible without them. So thank you, Tom and Chi, as well as all of our friends that are our NSO crew here, the 513. You guys are awesome. And our skating officials tonight. You guys always do a great job. Couldn't play the game without you guys. And, of course, all of our fans. If you've never seen a game at the Gardens, your chance, next one's coming up, I believe, on April 5th.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to get down here. It's a lot of fun. Meanwhile, who's on the line, Dave?
We've got Hot Slice out there, and we got Master Chief out there. Again, Master Chief has worked her way through the middle and trying to work on the way on the outside. Well, Hot Slice is stuck in the back. She's trying to work her way on the outside between turns 1 and 2.
Here we go. Master Chief taking that inside lane, stuck against that wall. Oh, and walking through the wall like a ghost is Hot Slice.
We saw it pretty well right here. You just saw the pack bounce coming out, and then she was able to snake right through on the inside.
Pretty move. Wow, it is exciting to see Slice back after, I believe, an injury-laden year last year. I believe. Wasn't she out for a while?
That is correct.
She's coming back from that knee surgery from the previous year, and then pretty much it's the same thing where she tore her ACL. It's a slow rehab to come back.
Tough.
Murder Her says you do not do that to my jammer while she's out of bounds, and just it was, and she's going to the box for it. That was interesting. It was like Hot Slice was out of bounds. 187. That'd be Kitty Black was about to hit her. Now Kitty Black decided to hold off on it, but by then Murder decided that it was. You don't even think about doing that to my jammer. Let's take a look at the replay if we can.
Here you go, Dave.
All right, so this is when they're coming into the second apex, and you can see Hot Slice right there. She's patiently waiting, and then just waits for Mama Crass to get out of her way. All the action went to the outside. She went on the inside.
Well, in the meantime, here, we'll see if we can pull up the broadcast schedule. If you want to watch this game again here, perfect time to do so is going to be on our friends at ICRC, and the schedule is right on the screen here. If you want to watch it again, it's on March 15th, 7 p.m. on Channel 24 for Time Warner Cable. Monday the 16th, 10:30 p.m. Channel 4 for Time Warner, 8:34 for Cincinnati Bell. Wednesday the 18th at 8 p.m. on Channel 24, Time Warner. Thursday the 19th, 10 a.m. Channel 8 for Time Warner, 8:38 for Cincinnati Bell. On Friday the 20th at 10 p.m. on Time Warner Cable Channel 18 and 8:48 for Cincinnati Bell. Also, if you want to watch in Kentucky and Kenton County, watch on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Time Warner Cable Channel 22 and Cincinnati Bell 8:19, as well as in Campbell County, you can watch on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Time Warner Channel 20 and Cincinnati Bell Channel 810. You can also check out TBNK and Campbell County, I think, .org. I'm not sure, I missed that. But anyway, you can also check out all the fun stuff that we have for the Cincinnati Rollergirls, including CincinnatiRollergirls.com. You can check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Cincinnati Rollergirls, as well as visit us on Twitter at Cincy Rollergirl. And if you want to talk to us at all, hashtag #TalkToCRG.
On the line for Cincinnati, Sister Shovechild. She's through. She's her lead jammer. Audio assault. Number 216, Secret Destruction, has got a lot of issues on the back of the pack coming into turn one. In the meantime, Sister Shovechild is hot on her tail, going for a scoring pass. She's through. She's got 5 points to her credit, and this might be the nail in the coffin that poor Neo Violent Lambs desperately need. Just that one big, I don't say desperately, but they really would, good for their psyche is they have that big jam to really kind of say, you know what, we did okay, we kind of faltered, we did bad for a little while, and then we corrected ourselves, we were played disciplined, and now we're here. So
you're right.
It isn't quite that that statement jam that I was referring to, but it's good for 8 points and 8-0 with the lead that they have. So it's a 52-point lead with 8:30 left in this second half. Thank you, Dave.
Math whiz.
Don't worry, I'll take care of the math. You guys take care of the players' names.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, yes, like Mr. Coach Mari was telling us here before, Cincinnati not able to deliver this knockout punch. And if you're new to roller derby, this is still a game. There's no way that this game is over. With 8 minutes, 22 seconds to go, as we have a little bit of a track tape issue, and it looks like we're all set to go. But again, Audio Assault with 108, the Lambs with 160 and on top right now. But again, Neo is in no way out of this just yet. So we've seen stranger things have happened.
Without question, and like you said, it was a very good point. If you're new to roller derby, you might say 52 points.
There's no way.
These guys high? No, we've seen it time and time and time again, and you combine some good jamming along with your opponent making some mental and physical mistakes, and next thing you know, I mean, I've been on both sides of it, and it's part of what makes this game so darn exciting. Is the score be darned, until the 3 zeros hit the scoreboard, you do not let your guard down at all. VC on the line, she's got 2 to beat, make that. She is strong. She goes down, but up quickly.
Oh, multiplayer block being assessed,
and lead jammer going to VC. She reminds me of someone.
Who's that?
Well, VC is short for Virgin Cherry.
Yes, she does.
There's another Cherry on this team.
There is.
My Cherry Chug, who gets knocked down a lot, but boy, does she get up quick. And VC kind of exhibited that there. There's a lot of similarities. It's interesting, too, because Hog seems to have been satisfied with the jamming core at hand. He certainly, like we said earlier, he could definitely go to Cherry Chug. He could go to Anatomical. He could go to any number of skaters. Scunner Hurt. My goodness gracious me. Maybe, one of the most pure jamming talents that this team has, but he decides to hold serve, dance with the girl that got you there. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely generating a lot of success at this point in time.
Yeah, you're right. He can go to any number of different people here. Meanwhile, it looks like Rosemary Posa taking the line for Neo and Big Ugly back out there for Cincinnati.
One thing else to notice in that last jam is it looks like for Master Chief, the night's starting to wear on her a little bit.
Yes.
Like, she didn't have a lot of explosion in her skate there. And, I mean, to her credit, she's been skating fantastic tonight.
Yes.
It's just a matter, at some point, you're going to get tired. Those hits accrue.
They do.
Well, in the meantime, too, you got to, like you said, it's been a long night for her. She's played close to 120 minutes of derby. So, again, we'll see what happens here. But in the meantime, Big Ugly working her way through the pack on her initial run. Oh, and stays on her feet. Meanwhile, Rosemary Posa still the lead jammer and runs into that wall and gets blocked very well, takes the outside lane and able to get through.
it seemed like they had her. First, two things. First of all, Rosa was coming in with a ton of speed, and that usually does not bode well for the jammer. Secondly, they had her on lockdown, and then all of a sudden, I guess the backdoor latch wasn't humped down because he found a little space on the kind of the inside out and was able to get through. Now, good look there at the Neo skater on the line.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on there.
I know, right. On the line there for Cincinnati is Sister Shove-Child number 216, Secret Destruction, taking jaming duties for the audio assault.
She's cherry choke all over. Secret Destruction with that. Secret Destruction trying to get a body whip there to get around, but meanwhile holding it down. Chainsaw out in front, cherry choke right there trying to help out Bridge, and just let her go there. Turned the wrong way.
It looked like she was trying to bridge, but the pack behind her wasn't quite as far as she anticipated.
Yeah.
So, but again, I can understand the mindset is I don't want to get a penalty here or have one of my other blockers get a penalty here. At this stage in the game with the margin being, you can take those type of plays. Okay, so Sister Shove-Child has a 3-wall, if you could call it that. Oh, gets knocked to the outside. Everything's going all the way back as Neo's jammer gets knocked to the outside, as does the Cincinnati jammer.
Yep, Secret Destruction meanwhile working her way back up, dealing with Cherry Choke and Cincy Psycho. And along with Poppy Chulo on the outside edge, their Psycho goes for the kill, and just a swing and a miss there, unfortunately, as Secret Destruction able to get out of that one. Yeah. Meanwhile, Slice still trying to work her way up and through and getting knocked around quite a bit, but keeping going. Going back a little bit from momentum.
The Violent Lambs has set up a wall back there. Looks like they've got containment on her on the inside right now. They've completely stole her, and yes, she has to call off the jam.
Yep. Nice try there by Shove, but that was going nowhere. And that wall for Neo holding tight.
And the body language is very different from Shove-Child at this point in time. She is, for the first time this whole game, she's exhibited fatigue.
A little bit.
But to her credit, it's good to back it up, not do something desperate. Leads to a track cut, leads to a back block, leads to a forearm. Staying on the track, giving your next jammer an opportunity to succeed.
2 power jams away from really Neo coming right back in this, basically.
And as I say that, since the Shove-Child got put to the box.
It looks like a late elbow call was coming in. We'll probably get confirmation in a little bit, but that's the signal I saw.
Okay, well, I take it all back then. But they were kind of, from our vantage point coming out of turn 4 there, it looked like she was exhibiting a lot of patience. However, that feeling was not shared by all.
Yep. Well, it looks like this official review, again, brought to you by our wonderful sponsors at Tom & Chi, the place that makes this live stream possible. So thank you, Tom & Chi, for being the best live stream sponsor ever. What can I say? Because we've never had one, and it's so nice to have somebody care about us.
And you always remember your first sponsor.
You do.
Oh, yeah.
You always remember your first sponsor. Well, Master Chief on the line now for Neo, and I guess we won't know what that was about. But moving right along, score right now sits 164-118, 3:59 left to go in the second half of the game, and we'll get word on what this review is about.
And Sister Shove-Child needs to be very careful from this point forward.
She does.
She was in a little bit of peril in terms of trips through the box going into halftime. She's been in the second half toned it down a bit, but this is at least her second trip in the second half. So they're starting to mount up. It's going to hurt. Nice move, knocking Master Chief to the outside. Does it once again. Good patience by Scunna, keeping to the outside. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to hold as Master Chief was able to go to the inside and get lead jammer status.
Oh, and
yes, a foul out by Sister Shove-Child. Absolutely.
So Cincinnati will not have a jammer on the track for this jam.
But we knew coming out of the half that a bunch of our skaters were flirting with it there. And Sister, to her credit, plays with a lot of emotion. Unfortunately, she'll pay for it. And Master Chief goes to the box for a track cut.
Very fortunate. Very fortunate there for Neo. And it's
for Cincinnati, rather. Yeah.
For Cincinnati. What I'm wondering is, did was quite aware that she had one left when she put her in as jammer. Usually a strategy that we employed back in the day was if you are, if you're that close to fouling out, we're not putting you in as jammer.
Yeah.
But that remains to be seen, and I'm only speculating at this point. But an unfortunate turn of events. You'd love to see somebody who got you this far into the game to be able to finish it, but
things happen.
It happens all the time. So VC on the line for Cincinnati. She is the one and only jammer out there.
As the Neo jammer in the box. I believe that's secret instruction in the box.
That's
Could
right.
be Master Chief. I could be wrong.
It happens.
We'll see.
Looks like we got Mama Crash, Cherry Choke, Chainsaw, and would that be Genocide out on the floor?
I can't tell. Yes, you're all right.
Indeed. All right. So VC getting through quickly. Coming to the first apex. She's got 2 to beat, but they are strung out big time, and your lead jammer is Miss VC.
Nice job in her first game here at the Gardens.
Absolutely.
Showing what she's got.
Also, we're still just 2.5 minutes left, and how fast she is still skating at this time in the bout is really impressive.
It is.
And I like her mental fortitude, too. She didn't start off with a bang. She had a little issue kind of getting going, early going, but, oh, wow, nice move there by VC. Well done by this young skater. It's nice to see confidence grow as execution get cleaner and cleaner as the game goes on, and that's what VC is certainly bringing to the table this evening.
Exactly what I was going to bring up, Marty. It's like she's developing right before our eyes here.
Oh, smart
You
play,
can see,
Yes.
and the pack doing an excellent job as well, bleeding all the way back and spreading out again. But VC, again, from the beginning of the night to the end of the night, you can see the improvement. It's really impressive.
And this jam right here is looking like a highlight reel for this young skater. All right.
Getting
Whistles
caught up
left
there.
and right. It looks like Chainsaw is on the way to the box. Clockwise block for a chance. Oh boy, Neo is starting to fill up the box as well.
Oof.
Jammer's on the floor, but 2 blockers have been sent to the box, and looks like
VC through again.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cherry Choke holding. Oh, and a
Master
nice
Chief.
hit on that would be Genocide, making that hit on Master Chief, and she certainly earlier on was
nice.
taking those blows, not so much at this point. DC with yet another scoring pass. I've lost track, but I would hazard a guess that she's scored close to 19 points on that jam.
Good. That was the knockout punch you needed.
Exactly.
There it was.
That was the punch right there. The game is 50 seconds away from ending, and your score sits 185-122. Let's take a look at this replay, Dave.
So this is where VC's comes out. 2 blockers right there. Just hello and goodbye, and no chance right there from them to even stop her.
That's a tough situation for blockers to be put in. It works sometimes. It's kind of like a penalty kick in soccer. You got to commit to one side, and if you don't do it fast enough, you look kind of silly. But
Good way to put it.
in for lead jammer. In for jammer and your lead jammer, for that matter, is a hot slice. Big spill in turn 1 as Neo's jammer goes down hard.
Oh, and Neo gets knocked down again. Wow.
And Hot Slice got a scoring pass of 5 on that. She is tearing it up.
Yes, she is. Neo's jammer still unable to escape the pack right now.
And Hot Slice sees the regulation expires, and calls it off as like a true sportsman.
That's
That
a
is
game,
great
gentlemen.
game. Great end to that one. Cincinnati coming on strong, especially in that last 5 minutes. Really turning on the heat. Your final score tonight going to be unofficially 187-122. We'll get your final here in just a minute or two. But wow, what an interesting game.
It really was.
Interesting.
Yes.
I would say it wasn't as satisfying if you're a Cincinnati fan by the end of the first half, despite the fact that they did have the lead. But the second half, I mean, again, it was kind of slow to get going, and it really the last 5 minutes are what made the difference for me, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Marty,
go ahead. Marty.
Absolutely. It is nice to see. Of course, you want for 60 minutes to just be dominant, but when you're able to really play from a psychological level, run the spectrum, do good things, do really bad things, do all sorts of things, and everything in between. It makes it. It gives you a lot to think about and a lot to look at from a video to looking at the tape down the line. when you're looking at this, because if you're just dominant or if you're just being dominated, oftentimes there's not a whole lot to really glean from that game. So they have a lot to learn from. They have a lot to look at. There are certainly some interesting chemistry between the blockers. Some work a little better with one another than others.
Yeah.
The jamming was, although inconsistent, at times brilliant.
It was.
And then, of course, we had that sloppiness that was exemplified at the end of the first half, beginning of the second half, and then they righted the ship. Although it wasn't gangbusters from that point forward, they were able to do what they needed to do to keep on the good side of the scoreboard, and then at the end of the game, they were able to really drop the hammer.
Yep. Tighten the wheels.
That's right.
Get going here. Dave, what were your thoughts?
My big takeaway from this was the influx of talent on both teams. And VC and Ellie Stabber. That's VC's first game in the Gardens, and I really look forward to her playing a lot more. And Ellie Stabber, a very young skater, going out there blocking and looks fantastic.
Yeah, good stuff all around. Again, a lot of stuff to build on, I think, but this team's got a lot of talent on it. Again, we looked at this roster and thought, wow, this is a stacked team. And the talent's there. I think it's a little bit more playing time, and I think that they'll be a force to reckon with this year.
Absolutely, and this year more than ever, the parity of talent between the two teams is such that it's going to be very unlikely, in my opinion, that you'll be seeing these same rosters replicate game in, game out. I think there's going to be a lot of fluidity between the Sheep and the Lambs roster, and see how that translates in terms of coherency and chemistry remains to be seen. But hey, opening day, 2 big wins. There's not a lot to be disappointed about, and so we wanted to certainly thank the Neo Rollergirls for coming down. They exemplified a lot of fortitude, great sportsmanship.
Yep.
They never backed down, but the day belonged to Cincinnati, certainly.
It was a great win for Cincinnati. Hungry for a win after a very tough last year, and wow, did they come through tonight. A team winning, B team winning. I would say we're on the right path for the rest of the year here. Well, in the meantime, we want to go over and give some quick thanks before we go away. Our MVP trophies tonight brought to you by OPIO for Pi Day, of course, since it's 3.1415. Great day. What can I say for all of us nerds out there? Credits tonight, we want to thank our executive producer, Tim Newman, our producer, Chris Cook, technical director, Scott Helton, our graphics and replay gentleman, Drew Dillman, all of our camera gentlemen, Eric Lawrence, Jason Reed, Jeff Mormon, and Ryan McGahee. And a special thanks to Misprint, Lauren Bishop, Thad Scott, Sodoff, Stabby McNeedles, John Horton, Greg Waddell, and Jerry Screamer Henderson. An all-around great night for everybody here at the Gardens. Hopefully we will see you next time. Our next game, April 5th. Who we taking on, boys?
That's Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor. Michigan. Yes. Awesome. Ohio versus Michigan. It's a matchup you don't want to miss. You got to get down here.
We'll see you at the Gardens, and if not, we will be chiming into you through ICRC-TV.
Yep, you can check out all of our replay, again, anytime you want at ICRC.com. And for all of us here at the Cincinnati Rollergirls, I'm Nick of Time.
I'm Coach Marty.
I'm Dave F. and Pal.
And we will see you next time here at the Cincinnati Gardens.